everybody. Welcome to PoliTarology. It's Friday night. I'm here with Marina and Cleo the Seer, and I'd like to ask them both to say hello and tell me what's going on with you guys. So, Marina, what's going on with you?
Oh, well, I'll tell you, there's a whole lot of stuff and a whole lot of nothing. Big thing is the channel is now offering membership.
Nice.
So different levels offer different things and whatnot. So I've been encouraging people to go over to the channel and just click on the join button, and it will give you options. You get to see things, check it out. And if something in there appeals to you, by all means, join. I think it's a great way to support me, to support the channel, to get the message of what we're doing out to a lot more people, right? So that's kind of what's new in terms of housekeeping. Also, I'm about 175 away from reaching 2,000 subscribers.
Oh, congratulations. That's great. Oh, that's so great. I'm sure you'll get there really quick. I'm sure.
I hope so. I had Stouffer Cavins on the channel about a week and a half ago, and he said, "Oh, you'll probably get it by the end of next week." So, Stouffer said by today. I'm just saying, folks.
And if it doesn't happen, can you get your money back or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's the big thing. And when I reach 2,000, we'll have a big old party. There'll be giveaways. There'll be all kinds of fun things. So that's that. In terms of shows, on Monday, I'm going to be on Kelly Dozen Cats. I'm going to be on her show at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Very nice.
So that kind of takes you over the next couple days.
Yeah. Wow. You got a lot of stuff happening. That's fantastic. I've been watching the most recent videos and also some of your older videos of you and Val doing messages for lightworkers. I'm really enjoying that series. That is really a nice series. So, and you are just, every time I turn around, there's something new with you in it. So that's why I think that 2000 is going to come sooner rather than later. So
from your mouth to, people's ears.
Yeah, I hope so. And Cleo, hi, how are you? I haven't talked to you all week. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm just wondering, I think something's a little bit goofed up about me being on here today, as far as everything I click on tells me that I'm the cool crone, and I know I'm not. So, but anyway, I guess I don't know. I guess I won't worry about it. But where is everybody?
You know what? Make sure that you're on the comments. If you look on the right-hand side, you'll see it should say private chat and whatnot. Make sure you click on the comments.
Okay, so I'm on there.
Are you? Okay.
That's what I'm looking at, and all I see is you and Colleen, and
I see a couple people, Linda and Alicia, but I don't see a big crowd of people.
You see a couple people? There we go. There was somebody. Yeah. There we go. All right. Okay, good. Somebody showed up.
They're coming in. Yeah, the notice just went out. They'll be coming in. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
I don't know why in the comments, though, that we're both going in as the cool crone, Cleo, but whatever. It's fine.
Well, all right. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm doing today, and then on Sunday, I'm doing another thing with you with Sybil, and then next Friday, I'm with Marina.
Yes, you are.
Yay! Oh my gosh. Yay. Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yep. You'll be coming on the channel.
Yeah. Well, Sunday's going to be fun with Sybil. I'm preparing not big chart readings or anything like that, but I pulled up charts for a whole bunch of ridiculous politicians. And so I have little thumbnail sketches for a whole bunch of them. I've been looking at their charts. And so that's going to be a little bit different PoliTarology on Sunday. It's mainly going to focus on fewer questions and more about different people.
Yeah.
Tonight, we're going to be probably doing questions. And I jotted down a few things, and I've been listening to the news, and I have my New York Times headlines up. So we should have quite a bit to talk about, even though we don't have any questions yet in the chat.
Yeah, could I just mention the first thing I saw when I went on the internet before I came here was that Trump says it would be very dangerous if Jack Smith sends him to jail.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Because all his supporters would attack Jack Smith or something. I mean, it's craziness. It's Trump. It's Trump.
He is like a 4-year-old. Like, he just can't stop himself from saying the quiet part out loud.
No.
Well, he's so worried about going to jail because
he should be. He should be.
I mean, there's a lot of crap happening with him. In fact, that's one of the first things I want to talk about is I took down from our friends on Midas Touch or the
right, yes,
Midas, whatever it's called, Midas Network. I took down the dates of his upcoming events when he won't be able to be doing rallies. The first is coming up in October. He has Alvin Bragg's case. The New York AG has a civil fraud case against him that's going to trial, not just getting an indictment, going to trial in October. And then in January, actually January 15th of 2024, he has the E. Jean Carroll case number 2, the defamation case. And in that one, it's $10 million damages they're going for. That is a lot more than she went for before. And then at the end, not even a month later, but just 2 weeks later, there's the class action fraud suit towards him and all of his adult children, which is basically accusing them of creating a multi-level marketing scheme. Then on March 25th, the Stormy Daniels criminal case comes up in New York State Court. And then on May 24th, in Mar-a-Lago, he will have the criminal case all about the documents before Judge Eileen Cannon. And this list does not include whatever is going to happen from Fani Willis in Georgia with her RICO charges and Jack Smith with the U.S. government additional documents case. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6, 7 cases, probably within the next 12 months. Maybe.
And that's as of today. We don't know what.
Yes.
What's going to come up between now and then. And then the thing that the Aileen Cannon moved the trial up to, is it May?
May
2024.
Mm-hmm.
And the Trump lawyers wanted to go to beyond the
after the election.
But the way they submitted their thing is they just left it open-ended. Well, she can't go for that. So she kind of made a compromise because otherwise they were supposed to go in
December,
right. Thank you. And so now they're going for May. However, I could see where the Trump group will turn around depending on what they have. I think Cannon is trying to give the Trump lawyers time to build some kind of solid case. And I don't think the Trump lawyers can. I think that Jack Smith has them so locked in that they're not going to be able to do anything. So I think they'll probably try to postpone it again, coming closer to May 2024, and try to push it out. Either that or bring up their, if they suddenly come up, they're banking on, from what I can tell, they're banking on the Presidential Records Act saying that he had every right to do what he did. Well, the problem with that is, did he have every right to lie about it? Did he have every right to, when they said, give us all the documents and he said, I did, and he didn't, it's just, there's so much, he has said way too much. He said way too much.
Exactly.
And the problem is he's using the laws of Lego Town instead of the United States. Like, the guy is just not even
Lego Town.
he's not even looking at real laws. He's just making crap up.
Yeah.
But this, I think, is the beginning of him being kind of letting his guard down and becoming exposed as either dementia or, just full blown, not manic depressive, but just full blown like paranoid schizophrenic or, just some really severe, definite mental difficulties. So anyway, for people who are putting questions in the chat, if you could please put them in capital letters, that would really, really help us. Emojis would also help. But anyway, I think
somebody's asking right away about Marjorie Taylor Greene. So I think we should talk about that as well as all the other people that are going to be indicted and drug into this thing because.
Okay. All right. I'm going to grab a different deck for Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Okay.
Right? Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, I was going to say, Cleo, I think you're absolutely right that the reason that she went for May is she could not appear if she had gone along with what Jack Smith wanted. Because she's a Trump appointee, then Trump can have a good old whatever temper tantrum. Mm-hmm. And might put her in jeopardy. So, but she can't really go along with what Trump wanted because too many people are watching. Their eyes, right? So I think you're right in that she chose May because it kind of appeases everybody, but it might give his team a little bit more time to come up with something. What? I don't know. They've tried everything. The good thing about it being in May is that at the same time, he's going to be out there. He's going to be, I'm the candidate. I'm the GOP nominee, blah, blah, blah. But while he's saying, make America great again, blah, blah, all these little lawsuits are following him and they're happening in real time. So.
Well, and it's also right around the time of the Republican National Convention.
Yeah.
When is that? When is the Republican National Convention?
In July.
Oh, is it July? Okay.
It's from July 15th through the 18th, and but they said that a lot of the primaries will already have taken place. Mm-hmm. By May 20th. I don't quite understand what they're talking about when they're having all these things going on at different times. But anyway, that date of May 20th is not really that great for Trump, but it's not bad for Jack Smith. Jack Smith's ready. He could go right now.
Oh, tomorrow. Yeah.
He's ready.
And unfortunately, Trump's lawyers are not going to spend the next 8 months going through all of the evidence to see how they might fight it. They're going to spend all of their time in Crazy Town with the mayor of Legoland, trying to create something to cause a mistrial or to get it dismissed or, jump up and down higher and faster and more hands on their hips and more bluster. And it's just going to be for nothing. But I think we should also read on, will Trump still be ambulatory by May 24th?
Well, let's go back to Marjorie Taylor Greene and some of the other people that are going to be drug into this that are just going to be, I don't know about Marjorie, but some of these other Republicans that have supported Trump and went along with the lie, went along, with the whole thing, they are going to be just scrambling to get back not to get in trouble. I mean, they're in big trouble too. So they're going to be scrambling and just singing like a bird and just whatever the DOJ wants to hear, we're going to be ready to cough it up, to just tell them whatever, I just did this because Trump told me to, that kind of nonsense. And I thought we could because he was president. I mean, I could just hear the lame excuses of what they were doing. Yeah. Marjorie Taylor Greene, unfortunately, I haven't kept up on her this week I know she's doing crazy stuff. I see her on there doing nutty stuff, but.
Well, this week, the MPG show was to hold up poster board pictures of a nude Hunter Biden.
Oh, that's right.
And what this has to do with politics and the price of beans, I have no effing idea. Yeah. But remember, she's not in the Freedom Caucus anymore. she is out really all on her own, except for the fact that she thinks Trump likes her. But, she's, yeah, this is bad. Let's read on her.
Well, and then I did hear that Hunter Biden is quite well endowed. So really, he didn't.
Apparently.
Do you think maybe she's trying to date him? Is that what it is?
Well, maybe she did reach out to him and he said, I ain't touching you with a 10-foot pole, and that's why she came up with him. Who knows?
She is so scary. I saw this thing this morning that she was pissed off because, and it might have been old, but some guy who was kind of spoofing her had gone to one of her events that she had done with Matt Gaetz. Now, this video clip was from months before, and they said she was pissed because they were walking on a beach, so she was barefoot, and the guy pointed the camera down or his phone down and shot her feet, and her feet are really weird. Her feet, she has like 3 toes.
Oh, really?
She has like cartoon feet. Like they look like, seriously, she does. They look like Red Flintstone or something. So it was a Midas touch clip. I watched it this morning. It was from, I think, today or yesterday. So if you can look that up, you will be shocked by how weird her feet are. They're very weird. And she was really pissed. She didn't want them. She was embarrassed. Yeah, she was embarrassed about her feet. So let's see what happens. And if we need to pick names, I got my Trump wheel working. So.
And I just wanted to comment to Val. She said, you 3 got the memo to wear blue.
Yes.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
We didn't get the memo, but we all tuned into what should we wear today? It should be blue.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And hi to Sheila Edwards, Alicia Bell, Phyllis Brennan, Kimber. Who else is here? Jill Petway, Annie Hamlet, Linda Ellison. And if I've forgotten anyone, believe me, it's nothing personal.
And Marina, did you start this on your channel too? Did you stream it?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right.
Yes.
And this question that we're doing on MTG comes to us from Phyllis Brennan. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
I pulled 3 cards from the Rebel deck, and it's amazing. Okay, the first one is stop talking.
Perfect.
The message is shut your mouth and listen. After that, I get effing apologize. Seriously, just do it. And the last one,
Are you kidding?
is you look like a shit show.
She does.
You couldn't
You're
have
a hot mess. Fact, clean yourself up.
Yeah.
you couldn't have gotten more perfect cards.
No, if I'd have picked them.
I don't think I can add to that. I'm just going to let that stand because it's so perfect.
It totally is.
It's just totally perfect.
Yeah.
Let's not mess with perfection, okay? That's the way it rolls here on PoliTarology.
There you go.
Somebody nails it and we just all bow down and say we are not worthy.
But as far as Marjorie Taylor Greene being held responsible for anything she's done, it just never happens. I don't know why they let her off the hook. I mean, she just says the most outrageous, stupid things, and
She does.
everybody just like, oh, that's just Marjorie, just being herself.
Like she's a weird aunt that you let come to dinner. But they have called her on the carpet. They kicked her out of the Freedom Caucus.
Yep.
Last term, she was removed from all of her committees. So, I mean, they do call her on the carpet. But what I was going to do is just throw some cards about yes, no, will she actually,
Absolutely.
have to pay the piper.
Marina, what is the name of the deck that you're using?
It's called the Rebel deck.
The Rebels deck. Modern Mystic wanted to know.
The Rebel deck. If you look it up, I've got I put the box away.
Is it Etsy or Amazon?
I think it was Amazon. But just Google, Rebel Tarot or Rebel Oracle deck. Yeah, and you'll see there's several options. I know it's available on Temu for those. Yeah, if you want to shop on Temu, I know it's on there too.
All right, so I threw some cards on whether she was going to actually be held accountable, and I got Death, which in this deck is a jar of mayonnaise. And King of Wands, so that's probably the person who's putting her away. That's the prosecutor. Or maybe that's just poor Kevin McCarthy just being so relieved that she's off his hands. And the Five of Cups for her being upset. So I do think that she's going to lose in some way. So she is going to be held accountable in some way. I feel in my bones that in her next election she will lose. But I think before the election, I think that there will be charges made against her. Pretty sure the January 6th charges, probably from Jack Smith, are going to involve her. So that's what
And the other thing to remember too is, she has been where she has been and allowed to stay there because of Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah.
She is really, really overstepping any generosity that he might have had towards her. So she has backed him into a corner now where the other members of the party who can see her as a danger can now go to him and say either she goes or we call. We call all you needed. You said one person, and we're calling for leadership.
Yeah.
What do you think he's going to do between saving himself or saving Marge?
Well,
So yeah, I think her days are numbered. It's only a matter of how long and how bad.
Yeah, I agree. I think you nailed it. I think that's it. I think that's good. Okay, what else do we got? Do we have any let's see.
Hello, Arlene.
I'm not seeing the questions in caps, you guys. You're making me work too hard here. Okay, so no questions yet. Okay, so let's go to my first question, which is the Republicans did a risky vote today or this week. It was about, they added on to the defense bill. In order to pass the defense bill, they added on a thing about abortion restrictions. Now, this is the House. It's not the Senate, so it probably won't pass the Senate. But still, is this going to cost them, like the next election? Is it going to cost them defectors from the Republican Party who are going to cross the aisle and vote with the Dems? Or how is this going to affect the party? I mean, it reflects badly on Kevin McCarthy probably, but will it reflect badly on Kevin or the party in general?
Well, what exactly?
What they said is that if, in order to pass the defense spending bill that's before them now, you have to add this abortion thing so that people in the service cannot be reimbursed for any costs associated with getting an abortion. That means no time off, no paying for their travel, no paying for procedures, certainly, and no allowing procedures. No allowing them like to travel to other states.
So in the past, have they been reimbursed?
Yes.
Yeah, ever since Roe v. Wade got overturned in SCOTUS, the military has said, well, we have our own laws and we're just doing this. And it's been very liberal and very supportive. But now that they're, Tuberville is holding up all the promotions for the military. There's a military spending bill that can't get through. And so they tacked on this abortion thing to it. And that's allowing a lot of the Republicans to say, okay, now I'll vote for it. But at what cost? Are they cutting off their nose to spite their face?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, you don't need cards for that. But let's elaborate on it. How is it gonna hurt them? Jude says,
well,
I think,
at what point does the Republicans have the right to interfere with what the Army or what the services have set up? That,
Yeah.
like they said, it's their rules. That's how they do things. Why would are we talking about Congress coming in and okay?
Yeah, and it's only the House, so that also has to go to the Senate to actually get passed into law, which of course it'll fail in the Senate. But
Absolutely.
the point is that they would hold up money for the military over this, and that's the only reason the military might ever even entertain this. So
Yeah,
So
they
in-
wouldn't have agreed to it at this point without them knowing that they could back out of it later on. So I think
and
absolutely
that sounds to me like what the Senate would do is just saying, well, no, we're not going to do that.
yeah. Yeah. At this point, because it is just in the House, the military can agree. Like I said, they can agree to it for now. Like, yeah, sure, we'll put that in. Well, it's no problem, knowing that between now and the time that it goes to the Senate, it's going to be a nothing burger, right?
yeah, but we want to know, how is this going to reflect on the Republicans who are doing this, the House Republicans, and specifically Kevin McCarthy? Because
No, not good.
Good, right?
No.
I know. What I think is, I got some interesting cards here. I got 2 kings and 2 sevens and the death card again.
Wow.
So the 2 kings that I got, King of Swords and the King of Cups. So I think they're going to believe that let's call it Mr. Johnson, is the biggest thing on the earth, and they're just swinging it around to just show their power, right? That they're going to do this, and this is going to make them so strong because they're delusional. And that's what the 2 sevens are, the 7 of Wands and the 7 of Cups. So they're just thinking delusionally, they're super delusional.
7 of Swords.
Yeah, another 7, yeah. That they just really think if they say it is, then it is so. And, we all know that's just not reality. And then so it's the death. So I remember back, Lauren Boebert did some speech at a one of those PAC convention type meetings. And she was talking about how her and 19 of her good friends were professional rhino killers. I mean, it was just an outlandish statement that really didn't make a lot of sense, but it got me thinking, who are those 19? And so I looked them up, and somewhere I have a list that is the 19 people. But here's the thing. Those people are really going to lose their political careers. They may lose their whole careers over things like this, because think of all the accumulation of crap that they've supported. It's not good. So it's not good.
Well, we all knew that the Republicans would pull this kind of stuff up until election time. They're just looking around like, we're in power now, and so we're doing this and this and this, and every time it's going to fail because the Senate is going to go, oh no, just dismiss them. That's nonsense. So you're just going to keep seeing this kind of crap over the next year and a half.
They're to the point that they got nothing to lose. They know that things are not looking well for them. They know that they're going to end up losing seats. They know that they're going to end up losing power. So at this point, they're doing all kinds of desperate moves and diversions, putting things in that are absolutely delusional and ridiculous, just to kind of try to stay ahead of it. It's not going to work. They are interfering with people's lives. They're trying to tell families how they're going to live, where they're going to live, what they're going to do, how many children they're going to have. And that's not going to work. Okay. For them, it's all about the hanging on to power, because that's where the money is. It's all about the money. But their message, it's going to get out there really, really quickly, that what they're trying to do is, steal and stay in power so that they can continue to steal. I ended with the Strength card, and I thought, okay, that's the strength of the people that are currently kind of the level-headed Republican. the one that says, okay, we may have a difference of political opinion, but I'm not part of the crazy train.
You
Right?
mean Mitt Romney?
Yeah, it could be Mitt Romney.
That's the only Republican.
That's the only Republican I can think of that is
A little level-headed.
Yeah.
I can't think of any others.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that are, they want to see Trump gone. They want to see McCarthy gone. They want all this BS to absolutely stop. But they know that at this point in time, if they were to stand up and say that out loud, you got the Trump train coming in that is going to railroad you, and that's the end of your career. And most of them are willing to, okay, no, I'm going to do battle, but I can do more good from the inside than from the outside. But no, this is not going to go well for them. They've already, with Roe v. Wade, they have already alienated a good portion of the population, the female population. This just adds to it. You know? Yeah.
I can't believe they haven't figured that out. I can't believe that they're destroying them. They're imploding. They're destroying themselves. To keep on doing this kind of nonsense, to focus on something like that when there's so many other bigger questions, bigger problems. That they're just not. They're not headed in the right direction. They haven't been headed in the right direction. From the time, as soon as we saw that Kevin McCarthy had to make deals with everybody, and it took, what was it, 15 votes. Yeah, it's just like, oh my God, this is not going to be good. This is not going to work out well.
No.
I half expected him after the 15th ballot to go, you like me. You really like me.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he's pathetic. Oh, boy. So
you're right. Legoland.
Oh, Legoland. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I still don't see it. Okay, so the IRS whistleblowers that have been testifying in Congress, what will the outcome of their testimony be? Do you think it will result in anything like more charges for Hunter Biden or somebody else going to jail? Or what do you think? Because what they're testifying about, I think, reflects more on who did the stuff for Hunter Biden or what favors he got, things like that, which is just ridiculous. But it is going on in Congress. So what do we think is going to happen with that?
Well, hasn't Hunter Biden, didn't they go through their investigation and kind of just drop everything?
No, they charged him, but he didn't need, I don't think he had to do jail time. I think he had to pay a fine, and he's
and he did pay the money back.
Yeah, and he paid the money back. And he's already said publicly, look, I totally screwed up. I was a drug addict, had a really rough patch after my brother died. I'm not asking you to forgive me, but, can this just be the end of it?
Yeah.
Well, but it's not some deal that him and his dad got together.
No.
Isn't that what they're trying to say, though? That you're trying to connect him to his dad and saying that the whole family is corrupt and
yeah. It's just anything to embarrass Joe Biden. It's just
and it just doesn't work.
Which
exactly. It's like Trump's good old don't look at me. Don't pay attention to me. Look at that crime family.
Yeah.
We may be a crime family, but they're a worse crime family.
Trump is so in his ego that would still bother him for people to say that. Joe Biden is an 80-year-old Scorpio. He does not even care what these people think.
No.
This does not keep him up at night.
Yeah. No, not at all.
Okay, so let's see what these IRS whistleblower people will do. What do you have?
Okay. No, yeah. This is not going to work out. They think that they're going to be able to pull the rabbit out of the hat, and that they're going to be able to keep the focus on Hunter Biden. that actually the opposite is true, because the focus is going to be on the deals that they made with the devil. And we know who that is. And that is not going to work out very well because, yeah, you got the 10 of Swords. So, you're sit down, shut up, you're done. And then I got the Hermit. Go sit in the corner, think about what you've done. And I end with the Lovers. Yeah, this is, you have tied yourself in knots to be part of what Trump is doing. So, he's sending out the orders, and like good little soldiers, you're all going, yes, boss, yes, boss. And you do it knowing that ultimately you're going to have to answer for it. He's not.
That's right. That's right.
He's not.
Well, I'm going to jump in, Cleo. I'm sorry. I got a few of the same cards that you did. I got the Lovers and the Devil also. I started out with the Knight of Cups and the King of Pentacles. So they really think they're smooth. They really think that this is going to be some sort of earth-shaking thing that they're going to uncover with these whistleblowers, or at least that's what they're telling the public.
Yeah.
And, with the Lovers, they think they got a big deal. Well, their deal is with somebody whose, like, first name is, Vladimir. And they got the Devil too. So, that's Mr. T. Yeah. And they're just, these agreements that they got are just stupid. And they are so mesmerized by the idea of the money and the power and the connections of these people that what's going to happen is they are going to get some results from their investigations. Unfortunately, it's going to expose Vladimir and Big T, because the last card is the Page of Swords, which is a little boy running with scissors.
Yeah.
So, Jimmy Jordan, put the scissors down.
Yes, exactly.
Down, because you're going to cut yourself and your boss and all your love interests, and you're gonna hurt yourself, and the hurt is going to be your career. It's just going to go. Bleh. It's just going to go.
Yep. Yeah. And besides, didn't one of their key witnesses, they couldn't find him
for 2 years, 3 years, something like that. Yeah.
But really?
Then they had two people who were basically just staff people in the IRS who got assigned to do this stuff, as if IRS staff people are the best investigators you can find.
Yeah.
They were trying to pull in the FBI and all of this stuff. And it's like, dudes, you didn't even fund this the right way. You didn't even get the right kind of investigators. What's wrong with you? Well, what's wrong with them is that their interest is really in not to have a decent investigation and come up with real charges. Their purpose is just to create chaos and distraction. That's the whole name of the game until the grand one gets back into office, which is just so sad. Cleo, did you have something to add to that?
Not a whole lot. Every time I see an article about Hunter Biden or, whatever's going on, like I didn't even remember that he did admit stuff and everything, but I just dismiss it because it just is irrelevant. It has nothing to do with the president. It has nothing to do with how the country's being run. It's the Republicans trying to find something bad with the Democrats, any Democrat.
Yeah.
And it's just such a complete waste of time. We've got to get over this. However, it's just going to stay this way for the next year and a half. It's just, up until the next election. Well, no, beyond that, until somebody else gets in, into the presidency. So it's just, the Republicans just waste so much time and so much money. And I love it that Trump was saying that Jack Smith has spent something like $8 million or something on his case. And I'm thinking, well, you fool. You think that they just paid $8 million for nothing? Don't you think there was a reason to? And he's looking around like, can you believe that? And I'm thinking, yeah, we all can believe
absolutely.
That. So anyway, the thing with Hunter Biden, just forgive the man. I mean, apparently he did something a little bit wrong. It had nothing to do with his dad. It had nothing to do with the Biden family being some kind of mafia family. It's just so silly. It's just stupid. And a waste of time.
And a waste,
Ridiculous.
just a big waste.
Yeah.
So I just want to reassure, there's two people here, Alicia Bell and Sheila Edwards. Sheila's asking again about MTG, getting her comeuppance, and Alicia's asking about Jim Jordan. And I don't think we have to read on those, because I can assure you those two will be charged. They will be removed from office. MTG may even be marched off of the floor of Congress. I don't care about that speech and debate clause thing. I think she might actually get marched, stepped out of Congress, because her stuff is so heinous. They are definitely going down. And I feel very, very strongly that this is going to happen to them well before the 2024 election.
Yeah.
Before. So I found my my little wheel that I made. I made two wheels. So I had the first wheel that kind of failed last time I tried it. And then I made another one. So if you will indulge me, I want to show you this, and this will give us something to key off of to read.
Sure.
And it better work.
Oh, it will.
Kidding.
That's my big sister just giving me a little grief there. Thanks, sis.
Oh God, the anticipation.
Okay, here we are with Trump's Chumps, the January 6th Chumps. And these are all people that I think stand a good chance of getting called in, maybe indicted, whatever. So let's see who we think is going to get indicted first, besides Mr. Orange.
Absolutely.
We go round and round and round she goes, and where she stops, nobody knows. So this is stopping on number 14, which is Matt Gaetz. So we think that Matt Gaetz is going to have the honors of getting the first thing. So do we want to read on him, or do we just agree he's going to get it?
Yeah, let's just move on from him.
So the next one that we think might get it is, somebody tell me stop.
Stop.
Is number 9, which is Representative Andy Biggs. And I believe he was with Trump at the rally right before the insurrection. So, yeah. Yeah. Do we need to read, or just note that he's going to get indicted?
Yeah, I think he's going.
Yeah, I don't. No question on that one, right? Let's try for another.
Okay.
Somebody tell me stop.
Stop.
I'm like Psychic Violetta. Oh, I went to the same. No, it's Lauren Boebert. No, it's not. It's still Matt Gaetz. I thought it was 11. Okay, let me try that again. Okay, there we go. 18. Steve King. Now, you may not really be aware of him. I believe he's the gentleman with the white hair and the white mustache from Iowa, who is also a big MAGA. These guys are all big MAGAs.
Yes.
I did a little research. I went through a lot of newspaper articles, and these people are all solidly in the corner for Mr. Trump. So Steve King, do we care? He's not that big of a name. More spinning or reading?
Let's see who else you got here.
Yeah.
Stop.
Could we just go to 22? To Ted Cruz.
There we go, 22.
Ted
Cruz. We got Ted Cruz. We definitely. Do we want to read on him, or do we just?
Yeah. Please do.
Okay, let's read on Ted Cruz. What's going to happen to Mr. Cruz? Someone told me that the outgoing Speaker of the House, and I want to say John Boehner, when he was leaving, told somebody, and I don't remember who this is, some other senator, that Ted Cruz is just evil. He's just evil.
No doubt.
So John Boehner was a little bit afraid of Ted Cruz. So
and did Ted Cruz, wasn't he pretty supportive initially about this Trump thing and about the election and?
Well, yeah, but also was Ted Cruz the one that Trump mocked his wife?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, while they were running to see who was going to get the nomination, Ted Cruz had nothing good to say about Trump. Once Trump got the nomination, that's when Ted Cruz kind of walked it back. He is so slimy.
Yeah, he's very slimy.
You know, that it's whichever way the wind blows, that's where he's going to go. And I thought that I heard that there was something that he was the one who brought in Lauren Boebert.
Oh.
Yeah, that the two of them, there was something there when he brought her in.
Well, and Lauren Boebert is the one that was brought in by that agency that posed as a model agency. And she wasn't the first one that got brought in by him, but the first person that they brought in to be a representative from that agency just didn't perform that well. She just wasn't as, shiny and bright as Boebert was, like a little bright, shiny penny. And so they really talked her up.
So Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham both were like down on Trump initially, and then all of a sudden, I will kiss your ass. Okay.
Exactly.
Yes. And part of that, I think, is from Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that, I think, is from blackmail.
What does Trump have on both those people? I mean,
well, what does Vlad have on both of those people? Because that's the same thing that Trump has.
Yeah.
So I did some cards on this for Mr. Cruz. 5 of Pentacles. He's gonna, he's worried. He's very, very, very worried. He might actually be drinking too much too. He might, Lindsay and Rudy might not be the only alcoholics in the vicinity.
Yeah.
And then I got the Queen of Swords. So somebody's gonna charge him probably Fani Willis if it's the Queen of Swords. So he's probably going to get also roped into that, which I never thought he would be with the Georgia thing, but I think he might be. Then there is the Ace of Cups. Somebody's reaching out with a little love for him. Maybe that's his cellmate. I'm not sure. But then we have a 6 of Cups. So something from the past is going to come back to really bite him. And I don't think he's going to be happy. So January 6th, he's definitely going to be implicated in January 6th.
Yeah.
Anything else?
With your Queen of Swords, I get the King of Swords. So they're coming at him from.
So maybe both. Maybe Jack and Funny.
Exactly. Yeah. I get the 6 of Wands. And this is it's funny. Ever since I heard David from Tarot by the Bay, and then Libby from Meister Tarot refer to this card not so much as a victory card, but as a look at me card. Look at me, and it has stood out to me ever since then as the look at me card, the drawing attention to yourself by doing silly, stupid things is. People are going to pay attention. They're going to listen. They're going to watch. I get the King of Wands. That's somebody coming in and just whacking him upside the head. Honestly. Like, I can't believe you did that. The world is watching. He knows the world is watching. He's willing to do anything to get out of this. That's why you haven't heard so much from Ted Cruz in the last little while. You notice he's been quiet?
Yes, I have. And when you said the whacking him upside the head, I'm thinking one of the reasons they're going to whack him upside the head is because he's going to open his mouth and sing and implicate everybody around him because he is basically a coward.
Absolutely.
Very evil, but basically a coward. I mean, look at when things got too cold or too whatever in Texas, he takes off for wherever.
Cancun.
Cancun. Yeah. It's like, really?
Yeah. And then uses his kids as an excuse.
Yeah. He
did not defend his wife when Trump talked about his wife and whatnot. He didn't say anything about that. That particular thing spoke volumes to me because if you cannot defend the person that you are supposed to love because you chose them and you can't defend them, sorry. sorry, that's a strike in my book. You don't get a second chance.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah. Okay, let's see who else we got on our wheel. 17, Scott Perry of Pennsylvania. He's a charmer, isn't he? Yeah. He's another one. Do we need to read on him or just get another name? I think he's definitely going down. His name's all over everything.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah.
All right. So let's try this again. Did we get that one? Is that Matt Gaetz again?
Well, we know that Matt Gaetz is getting it.
Oh, yeah. He was the first name up. So 23 is, Sidney Powell.
Oh,
the illustrious attorney who thought she was going to run the security, the national defense or something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Shall we read on her and see what's going on with her?
Let's just.
Because she's so funny. I mean, she's, let's just read on her.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. You know what?
I don't think she's in much trouble.
Really?
Yeah, she's had her, I think they were reviewing her law license.
In several states, in more than one state.
Yeah. Okay. For her, just because I'm going to use the starts with B and ends with itch tarot. Yeah. And it's called Listen. Okay.
Very good.
So let's see what they have to say about Sidney Powell.
I just don't think that Sidney Powell is a big player, a big influence on the January 6th thing.
Oh no, she is. She is.
She was part of the group that were planning on how they were going to do things and what they were going to do.
And she was actually involved with many different pieces of it. She was involved with the fake electors.
Yeah.
She was involved with the insurrection. She was involved with all of the planning at the Durham Hotel. She was involved with just the Steve Bannon from the beginning, just say you won. She was involved with the lie. She went all around the country. They did a little tour, her and Giuliani and my pillow guy. They're the ones who did the little tour for keeping up the lie. And she would have lost her law license in Texas, except for Texas has a bunch of weird laws, and they kind of banded around her and said, oh, come on now, don't take the gal's license. But she's also got a license in some other state, or maybe like Washington, D.C. or something. Yeah. And that's the one that's up for grabs right now. So
I've got her mixed up with somebody else.
She's the one who loved to wear that leopard jacket. She's real tall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So from this deck, what I got was, let's see if that comes up. It says, we're all imposters. Just own it. Yeah. You try a little too hard, sweetheart. You come across as desperate. So yeah, she's with all of them, it's there is going to come a time, if it hasn't already happened, but it will, if it hasn't happened, it will be very soon, where they're going to be beating a path to Jack Smith's door to say, I got something to say. Listen, you gotta hear what I have to say, because they know that the first one in is going to get the best deal, and they are going to turn on each other like savages.
Yes, they are.
And the irony of that is that even when the first one goes in to say that, it will already be too late.
Yep.
Jack will be going, TikTok, what are you, 2022 is calling. They want their year back. That's when you could have done this. Not now.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
All right. What else you got? Was that it, or you have?
What'd you get, Cleo? Did you get anything?
No, not really, because I was focused on the wrong person. But is Sydney the Kraken lady?
Yeah, the Kraken lady.
Okay, thank you, Alicia, because that kind of tells me more. But I don't really have anything to add to it because I was on the wrong path. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries, no worries. Now, weirdly, the cards that I got for her are all really strong cards, which kind of upsets me. But the first thing I got is strength. And I think what this is saying is that the case with involving her has to be really airtight. That case has to be really, really strong. And then I got the King of Wands. Apparently the King of Wands is probably the judge in this case that's going to be very opinionated about what should be allowed and not allowed. And he may even be a little bit MAGA. And that might be a problem for this case. But I think Jack can handle it. And then I got the Two of Wands. So at some point, yeah, she's going to turn. She's going to look at her strategy and go, oops, I think I better change horses.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I agree with you. She's going to start singing. And then we get the Empress. And I don't quite know why we have the Empress, but she is maybe going to fall on her sword for Trump when she realizes that the spilling the beans isn't going to work. Maybe she'll just say, oh, hell, I'm going to jail anyway. I might as well fall on my sword for my emperor, because then she's the star. I got the star.
Mm-hmm.
So weird.
Or she could be, as the Empress, she could also be ready, willing, and able to give up some information that maybe Jack Smith only has a nibble of, and she can provide the rest of the details.
Yeah, you're right. She could be that. And I'm hoping that that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Because these cards are too good for just her. But
yeah.
I have felt for a while, whenever I've thought about her, read on her, seen her name, I've thought, enjoy the sunshine while it lasts, honey, because you're not going to see it pretty soon. No. You're going to be locked away, and nobody's going to be sending you care packages.
Yeah.
So.
Nobody could be sending care packages.
No. Who is going to visit her in jail?
Yeah.
No.
Well, maybe Trump will put some money on her canteen.
I don't think so. I don't think he'll even remember who she is by that time.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Gonzo. So let's see who else we can get here. 16, Paul Gosar. I think it goes without saying he's going to go down. So he's just, yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, you guys tell me stop, and I'll stop for you.
Stop.
Marjorie Greene. Yeah, we kind of know that she's going down. I'd love to read on her again, but we already have. So let's try another one.
Go ahead.
No, you can talk while it's spinning.
Well, the sad thing is a lot of these people that will be indicted or at least questioned, we're not going to get to hear about it.
That's right.
Because they're going to be
until they make a movie. Once they make the movie, then we'll hear about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
and
right.
I think a good indicator is just, excuse me, watch who's talking and who's taking up airtime. Because the closer they get to talking or having been interviewed, the quieter they'll get.
Oh, yeah. So should we stop this now?
Yes.
No, I'm just about hypnotized.
That's Marjorie again.
Oh, yeah.
All right. 16, Paul Gosar again. 21, Rudy.
Oh,
yeah. Rudy, do you love me?
Well, actually, he's 20, but I'd rather talk about Rudy than Senator.
Yeah. Well, Josh Hawley, we know too. I mean, the guy who has become a meme for January 6th. Obviously, he will go. What do you want to say about Rudy, Cleo?
And nobody is going to sing more than Rudy.
Oh,
he's got nothing to lose. He's not a congressman. He's not a senator. He's not a representative. He's a nobody. He happened to be an attorney. So, Rudy, and he will say the most ridiculous stuff, but also just enough stuff to probably, I don't think he is actually going to end up in jail, but he could, but I don't think so, because he will come up with some, I'm sure he's trying to cover his ass before it ever got to this point. He probably saw the writing on the wall that this was probably going to happen. So yeah, he's got an excuse or some kind of a reason for everything that happened, for every question that's sent to him. And he will, he'll dance around it and come up with goofy goofy things, but he also might give Jack a little bit more information that would be helpful. So
you don't think he's too late to the party for this confessional?
Well, I think he could end up being a scapegoat, but only because he's just really a nobody. But on the other hand, he does have inside information. He was right there with Trump doing this whole thing.
But you don't think that his like alcoholic dementia is going to have them questioning what he's saying? Because that's what I think.
Well, it might, but on the other hand, they might just look at him and think, well, he's going to end up in the hospital or something anyway. So, and it doesn't really do any good one way or the other with Rudy. Put him in jail. So what? Nobody's going to care about that. What they're going to care about is
at least they'll have a place to live.
True, but they want to know. They do want to know what he has to say.
Yeah, they do, and I really think that he'll end up in both. I think that he'll talk. I think that he'll get a little reprieve in immunity because of his talking. I think he'll still be charged. I think the first thing they'll do is put him into a facility to dry him out. They'll talk to him again and see if anything changed, and then he'll go to prison. Yep. I think he will serve time.
Yeah, let me throw a little bit of a wrench in there for you. Just for, giggles and what. I heard, and I can't remember where I heard it so that I could give proper credit. But I heard somebody say that they thought that Rudy has been a plant all along. That that they got to Rudy early enough that they turned him so that he was there for all the discussions and everything else, and that's what he's basically confirming what Jack Smith knows, and he's providing.
So was he turned prior to the planning of January 6th?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
I think that was kind of the message was that he had turned quite a bit before that. So he was able to
that kind of starts to make sense.
Yeah,
it does, because all these travels Giuliani was doing, he was traveling around and in the midst of some kind of things that were going on. I think it was during the transition or even before that. Maybe it was even before the election, where he was acting like he was doing some big thing as the attorney, and it just never felt quite right. And but you're basically saying that he'd be working for Jack Smith, or at least he'd be informing for Jack Smith.
Yeah, working for the DOJ.
Well, that kind of makes more sense than why I think that he's just like a goofball and you're not gonna get in too much trouble because he's just so he's just so left field.
Yeah, he's everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And it does, when you look at it from the perspective of, okay, if he is a plant, it does explain. Nobody pays attention to the idiot in the room, right? Nobody pays attention to the guy that is 3 sheets to the wind and makes some kind of comment. But is he really 3 sheets to the wind, or is he just making notes?
Being an actor,
I tell you what that really jives with is, if he is a plant, that explains why he did that press conference in front of the landscapers.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just so crazy stupid. So
exactly.
Cole, do you get do you have one of those pendulums or something? So
yeah. Let's see what we got.
Oh. Good idea.
To see if Rudy's really a plant. I'd love to know that, because it starts to feel like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
I know.
It's swinging all over the place. Look at this. Well, you probably can't see, but it's
Wow.
strong. Yeah.
Marina, you got the same thing going on?
Yeah.
And Marina, thank you for bringing this up. I have never heard that before. And now you say it, it just starts to fit. You know,
I know.
And Giuliani's statement about, I have insurance. I have insurance. And then we never heard what the hell the insurance was.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we will find out about this this year, next year, or if we have to wait 5 years for it.
No, I think that once all this is within the next year and a half, I think we're
before
going to find out when Trump is a little more settled, when his cases are a little more settled, and I think we'll find out. And doesn't that just give him the most amazing comeback and mic drop from having been America's mayor, right, during 9/11, to, he was high and mighty. All of a sudden, he's on the down low. He does all these things. Oh, yeah, he's out there and he's rooting for Trump and doing all these things. And then we find out that he has been a plant all along. And he can recover that, America's mayor and go, yeah.
Well, I do think that his alcoholism is real, and I think that may have been a lever that they pressed in order to get him to turn and to do this.
Yes,
but also his
alcoholism works in his favor, so that when he spews out these crazy things, they're just like, well, it's the booze talking. So. But, I don't see him getting in too much trouble. So if he's the plant, he's not going to get in too much trouble.
Yeah, but I do see him getting in trouble though. So, I don't know, but the thing with the alcoholism is he would have to have it under control somewhat in order to do the things that he was supposed to do. But what I was going to say earlier is his background kind of lends it to this, because his background was in fighting organized crime in New York. That was one of his many big battles for years, was bringing down organized crime in New York. Yeah. So he has studied the habits of organized crime intensely. So he understands the RICO laws, and so he does have a good background with this. So it'd be very interesting to see if this pans out. Very, very interesting.
Well, and if you see that he doesn't get in too much trouble, or we don't hear anything big about him, or, all his information is just kind of shuffled under the rug, so we don't know, then it's true that he was doing something on the side there. Plus, it makes so much more sense with the goofy things that he said. Yeah. To get everybody off track, So
yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
Very interesting. I love that.
Yeah.
Just another twist. Just could be a total conspiracy, but
Well, let's see.
And wouldn't he just be slimy enough to do that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, and like I said, I don't think he has a place to live right now. I think his deal with money is a real issue for him. And so I could see him taking him up on, take me to rehab, let me dry out. I'll do a couple of months in a gentleman's jail, in a federal gentleman's jail, and, then set me free. Because the only thing is then, how does that reflect back on him selling pardons? Or is that a fake story? Because Jared was in charge of the pardons. Mm-hmm. So what, Rudy had an Etsy shop where he was selling pardons? I mean, that's...
it's interesting to put out the shingle and say, there it is, and see who comes knocking on your door.
Yeah, because
then they have to say they need a pardon for it.
But isn't that entrapment? I don't know. I don't care. These guys are all criminals. They should all be entrapped.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. Well, we've been on for an hour and 15 of just about. So let's pick one or two more of these guys and see what we come up with. And everybody who's asking about all the criminals in Trump's orbit, yes, pretty much all of them are going to jail.
Yeah.
This is what's going on. Okay. So let's do another spin for Chumps. Chumps for Trump. Chumps for Trump. Who will be next? Oh, we did Scott Perry. We got him again. Mo Brooks. Wasn't he the guy on the ellipse who did the speech and was wearing a Kevlar vest?
Yeah.
He came ready for bear.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was just a peaceful gathering of tourists.
Oh, what? Yeah.
I always wear my Kevlar when I go out.
So do we think he's going to actually go to jail? I think he is. I think he incited a lot. That wasn't the only time that he showed up for Mr. T. And, I think he was pretty involved. Everybody on this list was pretty involved.
Absolutely. Yeah. To one extent or another.
I mean, if you look at those names, like they're, I mean, I don't know how they can pull in Governor Brian Kemp, except that he's as twisted as a pretzel. So,
what is he a governor for?
Georgia. He's the one who.
Oh, he's the one that Donald Trump called and said,
No, that was the Secretary of State. Oh, Raffensperger, the Secretary of State. But the governor didn't push back on this. But the governor in Georgia doesn't control the elections. The secretary, in most states, the Secretary of State is the ultimate arbiter of what goes on with the elections.
So did Trump call the governor in Arizona, or what governor did he call?
He did. I think he did call the governor in Arizona.
Okay.
But that governor said no, I think.
Yeah, and everybody over here on the chat, God, they know all the dirt.
Why? What are they saying?
Well, it says, Alicia says Rudy has his own problems with his former secretary, and there was another one up here that the judge is not happy with Rudy in the 2 poll workers lawsuit case. That's from Janie, and
that's right.
Yeah.
And then Rossi's Den says he killed the Italian mafia, which allowed the Russian mafia to thrive, which helped Trump. I mean, this group over here is just happening with all the dirt.
I love it. And I think they approve of the wheel too. So
they like the wheel.
I'm very excited about the wheel. I have another wheel that I will show you before we leave the air. But
I like that.
Okay, so what are we talking about? Mo Brooks?
Mo Brooks. He was.
My cards are really bad for him. Oh, good.
Good.
Oh my God. Oh my.
Yeah, he thought that he was going to be on the forefront of, basically the Handmaid's Tale, right? He was going to be the guy in charge, and he was going to be able to do what he wanted because he had the plan, and he thought he was going to be able to sell it to Trump. All about the money. It's how much more can I make, and I'll go where the money is. But then somebody done toll on him, and he's got swords in his back, so he's really worried now. He's really worried about what he's going to do and, what's going to come up next for him. Because, I started off with the 2 of Pentacles and I end with the 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, he's looking down the road and he knows what's coming. And it's a freight train.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for him.
No.
What'd you get?
Well, let's be real. Anybody that goes to Congress and then calls themselves Mo,
Mo money. Yeah.
Use a real name. Come on. You're not, I don't know. I just find that very pretentious, but, and where's he from? He's from Alabama. Come on. I mean, use a real name.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got another. Whoa, shoot. Okay, I dropped it. I don't want to bend over and pick it up. So it's Queen of Swords. So another Queen of Swords. So that's either Fani Willis or it is a judge, a female judge.
Yeah.
So this Queen of Swords is really going to pull out a lot of stuff.
Letitia James.
Or Letitia James, but she's not doing January 6th stuff. She's doing Trump stuff. So, and then I got the Two of Cups. So he's got some kind of, he thinks he has some sort of a little handshake agreement. But what if that agreement is with Rudy? You're screwed, Mo. You're just screwed. And I also got the Ten of Swords, and this deck is so delightful and appetizing for the Ten of Swords. So I'll just show that.
Nice.
And I got the Knight of Hazards, which is the Knight of Pentacles, which, as we know, is the knight that doesn't go anywhere. And so he can, he can get on his high horse as much as he wants, but it's really not going to make any difference. And then he ends with the Nine of Wands, so he's got to defend himself. So he's going to have to hire a lawyer or 5, and he's not going to fare very well, especially if the deal that he made was with Rudy. That's so sad.
Can you imagine?
That's just sad. That's just sad. Cleo, what'd you get?
I don't know that much about this person from Alabama. So I just caught that. Yeah, he's in trouble. But they're all in trouble. But now that we've brought up this thing about Rudy and that whatever their connection is with him, I mean, this could just blow up so big.
Absolutely.
And I think we're going to miss out on it. I don't think it will be something that comes out in the media so that we know that that's what happened. But
I know.
There's just so much trouble.
There's so much trouble. But,
Wendy Schneider says, it's hard to keep track. I need one of those serial murder charts. Tagged to the wall with arrows pointing to each person and then arrows from them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's why I made the wheel. I have 2 documents going, one like this one, and then for maybe the next time that we come and play with the wheel, we can do this one, which is the January 6th heroes who's next. And this is a list of 22 people that would testify against Trump, would basically defy Trump. And there's a good number of people there. There's other people I could have added to the list, but when you get down to like Jason Van Tatenhove, most people are not going to remember these people's names, so it's not going to make for great readings. He is the guy who used to be a member, I believe, of the Proud Boys, and he sort of became almost an undercover agent because he got turned off about their message, and he came out and testified to the January 6th committee. For a long time, just a lot of testimony. He gave them a lot of information about them.
Yes.
But everybody else in this list, I think you probably would recognize their name. And they are all saying, yeah, it was a conspiracy. They planned it out very well. We're chumps for letting it happen, but we did let it happen. So next time we can go with that one.
Well, and aren't they finding out that as far as this had come up months before January 6th, as far as that was going to happen, that it was being organized?
They did have some inkling, and I'm sure the FBI was onto it.
Yeah,
because they knew that Steve Bannon on his radio show was just saying out in public square, "Hey, we're not going to stand for this if Trump doesn't win, and we're going to make sure that we get justice," before the election was even done. I think it was September or October when he started saying things on his radio show. And other people too, and in social media, in the chats and social media, the FBI was very aware of all of that. And so by the time we had and that was an election that took place during a Mercury retrograde. I remember telling everybody, I know there's going to be cheating again. I know there's going to be a lot of, just nefarious activity around it. And it's not going to be resolved for quite a while because of this Mercury retrograde. And it's still not resolved really.
Yeah.
Because we haven't brought the people to justice. So, really bad news bears for that all the way around. So. All right, so
Absolutely.
next time maybe we'll look at the January 6 heroes,
Yeah.
and I'm just going to go back to the chumps, and maybe we do one more.
Yep.
Okay.
Please share insight.
All right, so let's do one more, and somebody yell out "stop," and we'll stop.
Stop.
Number 2, Eric Trump.
Oh boy. Yeah.
What do we think's going on with him? Yes, ladies and germs. He's the oldest, right?
No,
No.
he's the youngest.
The youngest.
He's the youngest? Oh.
Yeah.
That's what kind of surprises me, because Eric Trump is just such a, he just doesn't stand out, and his brother is just so outspoken and just absolutely stupid, but I guess that Eric Trump was a lot more involved with the Trump business and what's going on with that than anything else. And so he was all busy covering things up with the taxes and the bank loans, and just being so involved in all of that. And it's just it's amazing. I think that Trump had said that his son Eric had been gone through depositions more than anybody he knew. He was constantly going before somebody to make a deposition, and I'm thinking, wow, okay, I didn't know he was that important.
They really made him out to be a little bit of like the laughing stock, right? Yeah. Ivanka was the pretty one, the smart one, the royal princess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dawn came in as kind of the almost the male version of Ivanka, except not as smart and not as pretty, right? But Eric was the one that they always made fun of. Like he's the last one. He's the one with the goofy face, and he's the one that looks, like his mother.
Well, and so they had him sign all the contracts, so that when push came to shove, it was like pointing the finger at Eric.
Exactly.
And he signed it.
Yeah, he did. He did, because he was so he really wanted to be kind of part of the team, and he was always just a little outside of the team. So naturally they convinced him, yeah, you do this, and so he did. I'll tell you one thing,
he never got to be on the Apprentice much, where the other two did. But yeah. I mean,
well, the other two needed jobs. That was why they were on The Apprentice, because they didn't really have serious jobs. Don Jr. spent a lot of time doing other things, like being a bartender in like some place like Colorado or something. I had a boyfriend that did that to me in grad school. He said, I'm going to go to Colorado. I used to bartend there. I'm going to just spend a few weeks with my old friends. And I said, if you go to Colorado, you'll never see me again. Yeah. And he says, oh, no, I'll be back in 2 weeks. I said, no, you'll never see me again. Yeah. And I was right.
Right.
People go to bartend in Colorado because they just want to forget their own life. That's my theory. Born of life experience. I think it's true.
Yeah.
So is Eric Trump going to be in enough trouble to go to jail, or will he just be fined up the yin yang, or will everybody look around like, you know what, you put an awful lot on Eric, but we don't really think that he's the kingpin here?
No, I think he might.
You think he's going to go to jail?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
because ultimately, because his name is on a lot of documents, he's the one that has to answer for it. And don't think for 1 minute that daddy and his big brother and his big sister are going to come to his defense, because they're going to say, we had no idea. Oh my God. I almost died when I found out Eric did that.
Oh no! Right? Ivanka's going to be in another time zone by the time they say that. She's not even going to be. She's just going to be gone.
Yeah. Eric was in charge of the children's charity that was dissolved in New York because they stole the money. Yes. Yeah. Eric would do anything for anything to kind of be part of the team. The thing that really gets to me more than anything else is his wife. She warned him years and years and years ago, and that I don't have confirmation on this. This is just intuitively that I have been getting over and over and over again, is that she warned him. And she said, don't do this. They're going to hang this on you. And now that it's all come out, yet there's been more than once that I've had the image of her standing there with her, hand on her hip saying, I told you.
But see, they all thought that Daddy Trump was handling all this, and they'd been doing stuff shady, like, if not out and out illegal, for so long and getting away with it, that it would never come down to this.
Well, actually, I don't think it was Daddy they thought was handling it. I think they thought that Uncle Alan Weisselberg was handling it, because Uncle Alan Weisselberg did it for Granddaddy.
Yeah.
So I think they believed that he could do.
Yeah, but Trump is the final word in his businesses, and when he became president, it was just like, no problem. Dad's president. There were no way will we ever get in trouble.
Yeah.
True. That's right.
Exactly. Yeah.
They were so wrong. It made it all very, very, very public. So yeah, I got bad cards for Eric. I got a 5 of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles. There's going to be somebody grabbing that money, and it ain't going to be you. Yep. We got a 7 of Wands. They got people, they're working, they're trying to make it happen, but it's, they can't defend the indefensible, and that's what it's coming down to. We got a Page of Wands. They're going to be squawking. He's going to be squawking about it. He's going to be talking, hoping that if he tells enough of the details, it'll get him off the hook. It's not going to get him off the hook.
No.
And the end result is the 10 of Wands. He's going to carry the burden. He's going to take a good portion of the burden for the whole family. And by the way, that's the case that is going up. When is that going up? In January of 2024. So that's the way they're going to start their year.
Yeah.
Eric going to jail.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a fan.
Now, Janie T posted, and she says, Whimsy, Dr. Whimsy, says Jack Smith and the DOJ have or will ask Eric Trump to be Trump's guardian. They know 45 is losing it mentally and needs care. So they asked Eric to take him in at his home in Florida. It could be.
I see that happening for 5 minutes until they finally sentence him. But I also think that they have to weigh that with how dangerous he is as a person who is non-compos mentis. He is like a walking H-bomb. I mean, he's so dangerous. They cannot. And if Eric has been charged with all of these crimes, he may very well be on his way to jail. So that may happen, but I don't think it's going to stay that way for very long. And I think, Trump will have to be designated somewhere where he can be controlled and watched.
So right now, is the Trump family and their businesses losing money? And has that been happening since his dad wasn't president again?
Well, no, they continued the grift while he was in the White House and everything. They continued on the same grift. But once Letitia James got a hold of them and put the monitor in place on the company, I don't know if they're actually losing money or making money or whatever, but she has a monitor who is not allowing them to do the grift anymore.
Yeah.
And Alan Weisselberg has been in jail, and I think he went back to Rikers. I think he went back to jail after they let him out, because I don't think he decided to cooperate. I think he decided to protect Trump, which is stupid.
Yeah, he did. Absolutely. Yeah.
He did, because I didn't follow that in the news. It just made me so sick to think of that poor old man suffering in jail but then again, he's a criminal too. So you know what? Hey, what he deserves.
He had free will. He could have,
Yeah.
And Sharon says that was regarding Whimsy. That was earlier. and that Eric would not be able to do that.
Yeah, and I think the reason is because he'll be locked up too. Yeah.
Yeah, either that, or since Eric wants so much to be part of the tribe and to be, part of Daddy's group, that's like, putting the fox in charge of the hen house, right? So
I guess I just can't. The more that they find out about things that Mr. T has done, and the norms that he's broken, the laws that he's broken, the knowledge that he possesses, the knowledge that he has disseminated, the more they find out about these things, the more it is clear that he is just a walking wrecking ball to the United States and democracy. And he needs to be contained like a live grenade. He needs to be contained.
Absolutely.
And in fact, that's the kind of thing that I could see him being contained in, is like some sort of like a cement room or something, because you can't trust him to talk to anybody except to ask for his next Big Mac. Because other than that, everything that comes out of his mouth is potentially devastating for the United States. It's just too devastating. So, all right. All right. Well, we've been on here for about an hour and a half, ladies. And I think that it's wildly fun, but how much more of this can we take?
We can't. We can't.
Yeah. And I know my son picked up takeaway for dinner, and I know it's out there, and I need to get to it.
There you go. And haven't you done like 15 shows today already? Because
3. This is the 3 one.
Wow. Okay.
You gotta be really hangry by now. All right. Well, thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you for all of your input. Thank you for applauding the wheel. It will be back as we need it. And there's a new one that talks about heroes, not chumps. I think we should start focusing on the heroes. That's why I made that wheel. And Cleo, thank you so much. And Marina, thank you so much for being with us. We definitely
Marina, I'm so glad I got to meet you, and I just love the way you do your cards and the things that you know and come up with. And thank you for the inside dirt on Rudy. I just love that. Yeah, and the chat, folks. You guys today were you guys were on fire. You're going on. I love that.
Absolutely. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
Yes.
So make sure you go to all the channels and subscribe to all the channels.
Absolutely. Please do that. Okay. So you will hear the little end screen as we go out. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Get queued up here. I'm so bad at this. I'm so sorry.